stuck his whole arm down the goat's throat to try to get a grip on the pipe. After a few minutes with his arms in the thing's esophagus, he finally got a grip on the pipe. But then Murphy's Law kicked in, and his whole arm got stuck in the thing's the speaking pipe.
So then what happened?
I'll tell you what happened. The farmer tugged and pulled so hard to try to get his arm out, they eventually just ripped the goat's head right off its neck. He had a goat's head for a bracelet for a little while.
I think I just lost my appetite.
Oh, that's why you gotta learn to eat quickly. It always pays off later, unless it's fast food or IHOP.
So Mr. Barkan, I hear you're producing a new Swedish noir film. How's that coming?
In short, it's B-grade, indie, Euro trash, piece of crap. I only signed on because my agent made me, and I'm making over $1 million with my name in a title.
That's depressing.
That's the life of a movie producer.
Well, I think that European directors have a bit more creative vision than American directors.
They do, but it's created in a different way. For example, I was working on this Norwegian horror film. The lead character accidentally kills his newborn child. The entire hour and a half of the film is him descending into hell, being tortured all the way down, only to be blown apart by Satan at the very end. Can you believe that? 90 minutes of blood, guts, and dismemberment. With cinematography so bad, you couldn't make up a human against a flaming wall. I swear, more sweet's my life.
Jeez, and I was actually thinking of going into that business before I dropped out of college.
If you do, I do not recommend my job. You meet some pretty cracked out people who hardly speak English and shouldn't be in the business in the first place. If I were you, I would stay a step below the director's chair, try head costume designer or cinematographer. That way, you still get the boss people around, but you don't carry all the responsibility. It's great.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. But I severely doubt I'll be leaving this place anytime soon.
Why do you say that? You're smarter than a job like this.
Yeah, I know. But in order to get a good job, you need academics, and that's never been my strong point.
You don't need academics as long as you have a reasonable recommendation.
Who would give me a recommendation? All I have is Mrs. Roberts, and she hasn't done anything nice for anyone since the Nixon era.
Longer. If I were you, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Everything happens for a reason. If it doesn't happen, it's either for the better or you didn't deserve it at all. If I were you, I wouldn't worry about it too much. The job is beginning as this, things should be getting pretty interesting in a while.
Yeah, I hope so. At least let the elevator get fixed. I don't know how many more suitcases I can carry up all of those stairs again.
Well, I can't really say I envy you.
Will, can we go back to the room? I think I left my purse there.
Sure, I should walk a bit after a meal like that anyway. It was nice talking with you two. We'll meet again soon.
His wife is a little, well...
Stupid?
Yeah.
Yeah, he isn't the greatest guy around either. But, I mean, he's a little self-conscious, a little bit, yeah, well, he has nice eyes, though.
That's disgusting.
What?
He has to be at least 50.
Calm down. I was just looking at the menu. It's not like I said anything about ordering.
Well, look, what I'm saying is this. If these two can barely figure out their way around their own hotel room, it's going to be easier than knocking over a midget to rip his head.
Definitely. But they don't even seem to like each other. I mean, the sex better be great, because the whole time he seemed to be regretting everything about her. And she's dumber than a second coat of paint. I mean, she just sat there playing with her food. And well, he's odd. He isn't the average mainstream Hollywood producer that you see on TV.
Well, you can't entirely base average based on what you see on TV. Media is always going to be 90% fake and 10% sponsors.
You tell me. Do you think that the Hollywood producer deals cocaine as a side job?
Jesus Christ, where did you get that?
He gave it to me as a tip.
He gave a solid 5 grams of cocaine to a bellhop as a tip?
Yeah?
No, something isn't right. Guys like that don't just give out their cocaine.
He did.
No, this doesn't sit with me. And you quit.
Yeah, so?
So why did you accept it as a tip?
Never decline a tip, you know that. I think the least we can do is try and sell it to somebody. And if that doesn't work, down the sink it goes.
You swear?
Absolutely.
Look, Mary, I don't want to have to revive you again. One time is one time too many. Do you understand?
I'm not stupid, Donnie. Well, stupid enough to make that mistake once, but it's done with.
All right. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, well, let's not go there. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Take a seat. You're the one who checked in this morning, right?
Yeah.
Your room is next to Mr. Barkanon's, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Listen here, buddy. If either me or my partner Mary here hear any complaints from Mr. Barkanum or the missus while he's staying here, I can assure you that you and your partner will be sleeping on the streets for the night. Are we clear?
Not entirely.
What?
We're not entirely clear. Not at all, actually.
Okay. What needs clarifying?
Well, let's say he complains about no clean towels being in his room. As far as I'm concerned, that's your job for not doing that's your fault for not doing your job right. Let's say the complaint was received at 12 a.m. Which night would we be sleeping in the streets? The night the complaint was received, or the following night? I find it very unlikely that you can get me and my partner out in the streets with no one, without waking us, without anyone recognizing what you're doing. Well, see, these are the things you need to think about when you're making a threat. For example, I appear not to be threatening in any way, shape, or form.
You're not threatening in any way, shape, or form.
This is true. However, when I pull out my gun, I have complete control over the situation, and now you feel threatened. But, well, stay with me, we're almost done. But let's say you take the gun from me. Go ahead, take it. Now you have complete control over the situation, and I would feel threatened if there were any bullets in it.
Jesus Christ, just when you think you've seen it all, people start bringing guns into hotels. Next it'll be guns in church.
All right. What makes you think I won't turn you into the police?
I'm sorry, I find that a little offensive, Mr.
Donnie.
Donnie. Listen, I know how a young guy like you thinks. You're working minimum wage at a half-fancy hotel in the States, and you're sick of it. All of a sudden, a big shot movie producer walks into that same half-fancy hotel. What's your first thought? Money. It's all about money, all the time. Money solves everything. For a while, right?
So what do you want?
I want your word. I want your word that all my partner and mine records will be cleared once we leave this hotel. When we leave, we will all be back to normal. I don't want anyone to know that we ever stayed at this hotel. As far as robbing the poor bastard, may the best team win. You have a deal?
All right. I don't usually trust a guy pointing with a gun pointed at me, but in this case, I'll make an exception. Because no one's ever pulled a gun on me before.
There it is. Looks like your day now.
Donnie, there you are, looking all over this hotel for you. How long a lunch break do you really need? You're supposed to be taking care of Mr. Barkanum and his wife. Well,
Oh, what? Mary doesn't even get a hello.
don't give me any of that. I'm not in the mood.
Oh, then what are you in the mood for? The special today is an extensive use of sarcasm and hatred of your boss.
I specifically told the two of you to keep a close eye on Mr. Barkanum and his wife. Why aren't you with him?
Oh, they went up to their room. Probably bathing in Franklin's in their room.
Who the hell is this?
I am simply no more than a patron of this hotel, and I was just leaving. And don't forget what we talked about.
I'm going to need you two to keep an extra close eye on Mr. Barkanum and his wife.
How extra?
Very extra. I heard on the news that two men matched the description of the two men at this hotel, assassinated one of the most respected senators in D.C. and then robbed him of his savings. Now, what do you make of that?
I think you should stop believing in everything the government tells you, especially in this country.
Not you, Donnie. Mary?
I can believe it. I mean, what's his name?
Owen.
Oh yeah, Owen. He had a gun with him.
What?
Yeah, he even threatened Donnie.
Whoa, he did not threaten me. We made a mutual agreement.
A mutual agreement? What the hell is that supposed to mean?
It means he stays out of my way and I stay out of his.
Why don't you just call the police?
Ah, you told us never to call the police after what happened last time.
All right. We'll play this one by ear. However, I want you two to avoid all unnecessary contact with these two over their stay.
Didn't I just get through telling you that's what we agreed upon?
I'm not kidding. These two could be dangerous. We don't need any more attention than we already have, and right now that's not that much.
Well, I agree. Well, ladies, it's time for me to get back to work.
Haven't heard you say that in a while.
Oh, anything to get away from you, Mrs. Roberts.
What do you think Johnny's parents would say about him?
Must be the kids he hangs out in the parking lot.